My 41F, new husband's 38M, ex-wife wants to be close in our lives. No children. I just got married in November. My new husband's ex-wife wants to be in our lives and it makes me uncomfortable. They do not have any children. They were pretty close when we met and I thought the dynamic was strange. Like she bought him cat litter and other household things. Almost like a mother would do for a college kid. She liked to be relied on for help. She has always been overly nice to me and supportive of our relationship. When we all hung out, she only talked about their memories while they were married. She is loud and overbearing and talks to him with disrespect. They work for the same company, both remotely, but other than that have nothing in common at all. Besides the past, she is much older than him and they married when he was very young. They never had a good marriage. Toxic. On again, off again. They have been divorced for 6 years. We've been together for 2.5. He thinks I'm just being insecure. I think there's some weird codependent mommy trauma bond still happening. I ask that I not have to hang out with her anymore. I am allowed to choose who I am friends with and spend my time with, and I don't want to spend it uncomfortable with her. The issue is my husband, and I put on live shows at clubs around town and she has used that opportunity to show up and make us hang out with her. He sees it as her just being supportive, and what's wrong with that? But I find it manipulative and her again just trying to be close and relevant in his life. I ask that he ask her not to show up to our shows anymore because it makes us uncomfortable. He gets uncomfortable because he sees I'm uncomfortable. And he did, but it's caused a big rift. He thinks I'm being mean to someone just trying to be nice because I'm insecure. I feel like he's saying he demands I be uncomfortable so his ex-wife can be comfortable, and he is refusing to cut the inappropriate cord he has with his ex. Any insights or opinions? I think there's some weird codependent mommy trauma bond still happening. Most posters on this sub are astonishingly oblivious, but you nailed it. There's almost definitely nothing to be threatened about, and I bet, contrary to what they think, what you're feeling isn't even threatened, more weirded out. You're basically dealing with a mother-in-law situation but also with ex-wife energy, which is absolutely weird. Probably the easiest way to handle it is to treat her more like a mother-in-law than you would an ex. Start putting out a low-key, we are young and understand each other. She is old and out of touch energy. I am aghast that you married into this. This is the dynamic that was in place when you married him. Did you think it would magically change with a wedding band? Why in the world did you marry this person? You knew this is what his relationship would like. Did you actually think it was going to make a 180 degrees turn? I'm curious why you chose to marry into this. It's not like it happened after you got married. While I agree their dynamic sounds bizarre, it sounds like they've had the same relationship since you met him. If it never changed while you were dating and he never agreed to cutting contact with her when you got married, I don't know why you'd expect him to suddenly change his mind. This was an issue to resolve before getting married. Since you didn't, you need to decide whether or not it's a deal-breaker for you. Oof. Why on earth did you marry this guy when you knew he was like this? He sees nothing wrong with the codependent relationship with his ex, so you're not going to be able to get his ass to counseling. Honestly, you have to either live with it or dump him. Because at 38 and having imprinted on this creepy older woman like a baby chick, he's not going to change. After knowingly marrying into this dynamic, you want our help forcing your husband to change. I don't think that's our role here. What you are asking for is significantly different than having the terms of a happy, healthy marriage change on you after the fact. Love this or leave it. If you change the terms of your relationship after he's committed to you, then he'll have every right to leave you. You say they married when he was very young and she is much older than him. I think this plays a big role in their relationship dynamics. Say he was in his early 20s and she was like 40 when they started dating? That would give me pause. Yes, it's legal, but a lot of age gap relationships, especially when they start before the younger person is 2530, have a major power imbalance. Another thing to take into account is how his mom treated him. Was she abusive or overly clingy with him? It's possible his ex was a full-in for the mom he never had. Or she was basically mom number 2 the second he moved out. If the age gap likely had an effect on their dynamics, I would bring up the possibility of codependence. Do it gently, but ask if he thinks that's possible. If he doesn't want to talk about it, let it drop, but he may even think more on it later. And if none of that is the case, I'd at the very least see about compromising. You can't keep her away from public places, but you can see if your husband would be okay at least cutting down on time with her. If he refuses, I'd consider it a red flag. Get rid of the husband if he can't get rid of her. He divorced this woman so he wouldn't have to be around her. Why is he pressuring you to let her crawl up your ass so bad? Yeah, they have a toxic relationship still. She is completely ignoring traditional boundaries in a relationship, as a friend and as an ex. Get rid of that toxic and probably controlling ex. Your husband needs therapy if he thinks it's okay and normal. It's not. I'm asking this question without malice or disrespect. I notice that many others have asked and you've responded to their comments, yet it seems made it a point to not answer the direct question. Being that this was going on before while you were dating, why did you marry into this dynamic? I wonder if you're meant to be their baby surrogate. Seen some weird post like this before where the ex wanted to be buddy-buddy with the new wife until she got pregnant, then she wanted to take the baby and her ex. Your husband's goal should be to make you happy, not make his ex-wife, who sounds like a weirdo, happy. Get counseling. State that if you wish to prioritize her comfort over yours, feel free to go and do so. He is obviously still married to her and not to you. So let him go and wallow in the toxicity. Get out of there. Why did you marry someone or stay in a relationship with someone that is still attached to their old one since no kids are involved? That says more about you and how desperate you are for a man. You brought this on yourself by basically agreeing to be a throuple. That ex should have been cut off and there is no need for them to be friends. Unless you are okay with your husband having a side piece for the rest of your life. It is his responsibility to act on cutting the relationship, including socials. If he can't figure it out, then he should get a therapist that can help him. You also need one for yourself. Show him this thread, let him see that other people think this is weird as hell. He thinks I'm just being insecure. Ugh. I really don't like when someone brings up an issue or feeling they are having in their partner, waves it off by labeling it an insecurity, versus actually understanding and caring what their partner is saying. I don't see you as being insecure at all. I can see how this would be genuinely annoying, frustrating for you. Times all that by 2 for having a husband that doesn't care to listen or see your side seriously, while catering to his ex-wife from 6 years ago. I think you have to have a conversation with your husband and get him to understand that he is disrespecting you by labeling you insecure instead of actually understanding the issue here. I just read your post in 1 minute, and from how you worded it I can see the issue pretty clearly in my mind, and it isn't insecurity. There is 3 people in this marriage. One beautiful amazing woman once said, I think you're in this weird situation. Speak to your partner, say this has to stop now and tell him how you feel.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.